And now let me try my report. I promise I'm not going to abuse time. But let me start with a statement of one of the very famous chess player and theoreticians of chess playing, Zygmunt Taras, who at some point wrote down that every position should be considered as a task where you have to find the right step which stems from this position, and practically always that would be the only possible step. It is very close to what Signor Marcaricelli said at the end of his speech when he reiterated that we need to shape our understanding of the future based on the today's situation. I fully agree with you. And since Mr. Taras considered that that is the only, most probably the only possible step, we do believe that in the current situation, such a step can be and must be transitioned to agriculture 4.0. Russian agriculture, as the global agriculture, really stayed on the threshold of this transition. And as Alexander mentioned, the agricultural producers have already shifted to a more powerful, wide-cut, multifunctional equipment with, as Viktor Simonov said, they have both a GPS navigator. You know, you can hardly surprise somebody in plant growing and animal breeding that massively apply achievements of selection and genetic engineering. And the input decreased. Nearly 1 billion people now today are suffering from hunger. And this adverse statistics was only aggravated with the pandemic. Also, population growing is already, you can see on the slide. And also, we have on the one hand potential for increasing arable lands, as Professor Valentini mentioned. But on the other hand, there are some contrary, the opposite processes like a growing population. So in this case, in terms of this controversy, what are the tasks that we have to tackle? The tasks facing the World Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations and farmers. First of all, we have to eradicate hunger. I just called about it. We have to ensure the quality of food and its safety. And what are the tasks for the farmers in this context? They need to optimize agricultural production to make it more cost effective. That can be achieved through digitalization. And this is truly a transition that we observe in other sectors of the economy in our life. So for the past 10 years, we practically forgot, we abandoned writing letters, handwriting. We just use emails. The same happened in banking, in mass media. But agriculture, as Alexander showed on the graphs, is really at the very beginning of this trajectory. This is just the start of this transition, and everything new ever started is a little bit painful. Another challenge is producing environmentally healthy and safe, clean products, because farmers heavily use agrochemicals. But now we need to move further, and we now need to shift to environmentally friendly products. According to McKinsey & Company report, with a transition to a new technological paradigm, agriculture can increase global GDP by $500 billion by 2030, which would enhance its productivity by nearly 10%. It's a huge leap which can be achieved through transition to agriculture 4.0. And we do understand that today we reuse these simple elements of agriculture 4.0 in the fields. Like we have weather stations, we have various electronic scales, temperature sensors, other sensors, different devices to register the work time. And I'd like to emphasize, I believe Alexander would further confirm it, that very often the readings from all those elements of agriculture 4.0, very often farmers very studiously and zealously report, like put it on record, all this data, put them in some books on the notebooks, and then other specialists use calculators or Excel tables. So what happened? We do collect the data, but then we still process the data in the old way, which doesn't help to speed up their processing. Implementing the Agriculture 4.0 is designed to unite all those devices in the same system with the set of data processes and flexible external and internal interface in order to transfer production to a brand new level of productivity. And according to an international group led by the National Union of Grain Producers, that's an international expert group, and they do believe that this task can take place through transition to efficient digital agriculture. In Russian, this is called, we decided to call it, comprehensive offer to support transition to this efficient digital agriculture. We do understand deeply, you know already that our grain union has operated for more than 10 years, and we have very good practitioners with us. And their track record is not just these 10 years, much longer. They have really vast experience. So we do understand the needs of agricultural producers. We are aware of regional specifics. We are prepared to learn from the international experience and adapt it. This is the reason, for example, why we have this AgroTalk event. And we wanted to create the bank of knowledge, the bank of technologies to implement this in our comprehensive offer. So what are the objectives for the farmers? First, reduce the cost, enhance the efficiency throughout the entire production process. And it is essential to make sure that every stage of agricultural production is transparent and traceable. Traceability, that's the word in English. And organic production basically sets the same requirements for us. So what exactly is the comprehensive offer? This is the concept of the project. Achieving synergy and comprehensive development of efficient digital agricultural production by combining high technology international competencies and adapting it in agriculture and other sectors of the economy. The project partners has already become, and other partners will join. It is not a limited project. But at the moment, the following companies have become our partners. Perfectum Capital Financial Company is one of the organizers. It is a general sponsor of our today's event. We already praised them for this. Factor Beer, it's a joint Italian-Russian venture. An association, Feder Bio, that provides services for consulting and certification of organic products. Gamma Robotics offers services associated with UAV and nano-satellites. TILO, Alessandra going to talk in more details about TILO. This is a digital platform for collecting, storing, and processing data and task control. Sana International Exhibition, which we believe can become a window or a door for Russian agricultural producers, helping them to enter international markets of high margin products, not just only mass products. Where we are very successful at the moment, we are number one in wheat export, for example. But right now, the task is, as already mentioned, to make it cost effective, to enhance efficiency of agricultural production. Also, the use of e-commerce means to this end, we suggest to use marketplace, AgroMarket. This is going to be the marketplace that we suggest. And Dr. Pharma is our partner in production means. Dr. Pharma produce organic mineral fertilizers, inorganic fertilizers, and the modern seed material. And of course, the National Union of Grain Producers offers its full support to the project. Who can become the customers, the target audience of this project? In our opinion, it can be, first of all, government agencies. Today, again, it was already mentioned that at all levels of the Russian authorities and international, the authorities from other countries, for example, the embassy of Italy to the Russian Federation, it was reiterated again and again that the government is interested in sustainable supply and production of agri-products. They wanted it to be efficient and transparent. Alessandra already mentioned that investments in the industry, in agri-tech, are increasing, and this is the sector that is transforming the agriculture. But financial institutions are also interested in transparency. They wanted to know how these funds are used. Insurance companies, of course, with the more and more turbulent climate, the role of insurance companies is increasing because agricultural production in quite a number of regions is increasingly more and more risky. And it's not only Russia that is in the belt of risky agriculture. A number of other companies that used to be in an area with pretty stable climate now falls in this category. Who can be the partners? We understand that the farmer audience are exactly the targets for whom the comprehensive offer is prepared. So who can be partners in implementing the offer? First of all, businessmen. And the first pilot projects are already in place, for example, in the Omsk region and in some other areas, where businessmen from agriculture or other sectors, they say that we are interested in investing because we understand that this is where the future lies. They also can be trader because they are the ordering parties. They basically take agricultural products and they bring it to the consumers, both in the domestic and international markets. And of course, the retail chains who understand that the more close, direct ties with the agriculture would enable them to optimize the value chain. What are the advantages of our project? What do we see in the comprehensive offer? First of all, it is one window service. Producers that decide to embark on this transformation path or the new technological paradigm, they basically get everything from kind of one hand, one window, and it will be very coordinated. The processes will be very transparent, high level control, technological level, and of course the advantages also would be developing a new image of a farmer. And we believe it is important, taking into account that there is a generation change in agriculture. We need to make this model very attractive for the youth so that highly qualified young specialists who are able to cope well with these new technological devices We want them to stay in agriculture. So it is important to create a new image of a farmer, seeing that that's a human being, that's a new type of the economy, which highly contribute to food safety. And it's not just conservative methods. It is involvement in scientific and technical progress, and it is involvement in responding to the challenges that the mankind is facing. We have to increase the prestige of the agriculture to make it more attractive for highly qualified specialists. Plus, we do understand that agriculture, first of all, means direct interaction between the humans and the ecosystem of our planet. So this is how we interact with our motherland, the Earth planet. And if it's more environmentally friendly, it would affect not only the quality of life of our generation, but also the future generation. It would mean improving the quality of life of millions, because we already mentioned that there is a huge share of people who are unable to get healthy products. Another important thing is maintaining and reinforcing family traditions. Because very often, as Alessandra showed to you, fathers or the aging generation, they're not that prepared to master the new technology. So the baton can be given to a new generation who would be ready to go in. In Russia, today, very solid legislative framework is being built to enable this project. As mentioned at the plenary session by the Deputy Minister of the Agriculture of the Russian Federation, we now have a new federal law passed on 1st January 2020 on organic product and amendments to particular legislative acts of the Russian Federation. So now organic products can be produced on these approved conditions. I also wanted to mention that the Ministry of Agriculture is now giving robust support to the transition towards a new technological paradigm, because we do understand that in order to do it, we need to be based on a particular financial and economic basis. The Ministerial Order number 799 of 22nd of December last year changed the list of soft loans. Now, such soft loans can be given to agriculture producers for informatization, digitalization, pay attention of agriculture, processing of agriculture and servicing machinery and equipment in the field of informatization and digitalization. In my opinion, it's a revolution really in this field. We can only thank the ministry for such an approach. So again, what is the basis for such acts that restore changes in the law and the departmental order? First of all, this is the position of our leadership. This is a very new quotation from our president, Vladimir Putin, who made a statement at the joint session of the State Council and the Council on Strategic Development and National Projects. Mr. Putin said that the attention has been reinforced to such sectors as the advanced development of the infrastructure, environmental well-being, digital transformation of all spheres of our life. And we do believe that this approach would determine the attitude of the authorities at all levels to the processes that we're discussing now at our forum, the transition to the new technological paradigm. What is the principle under which we implement the comprehensive offer? First of all, this is the agile principle. It means evolutionary development by ongoing improvement and reviewing the priorities at the end of each project iteration and timely implementation of the new technological solution. It means that at every stage, we have to understand that life is going on and there is absolutely rapid development now. So we basically implement new approaches with the prior evaluation of the consequences of the previous stages. This is our principle. And finally, I'd like to reiterate that effective digital agriculture and the complex offer are designed to work together with farmers and for the farmers. This is our main goal. Dear colleagues, thank you so much for your attention.